Hello friends, Kathy here from Family Success Academy. I'm here to visit with you today, Tuesday Pep Talk. Every Tuesday, I realized last week I said it was like 20 weeks. This week it really is 20 weeks of doing a Tuesday Pep Talk. And I'm coming to you today from our Family Success Academy classroom. And I decided what I wanted to talk about today is something that a lot of us are facing right now: change. Change. The back to school momentum that's going on, of children going to early childhood programs for the first time, of you already knew the teacher, you got to know them, now they've moved up with another class, or your child is going out to the big school, the kindergarten, or maybe middle school, high school, or even college. There's fear on the side of parents, right? Because we're like, how are they going to treat my little one or my big one or my grown up, or what's going to happen when they get there, and how are people going to react to them, and will they know how special my child is? Will they know what he or she needs? There's a lot of trepidation that we have about any kind of change going on in life. And very often we get even more worked up when our children are young, because we speak up for them, we stand up for them, and they suddenly are in a place, in a school, in a situation where we drop them off and we pick them up. I remember when my daughter went to kindergarten, she had come with me here to the early childhood program from like 2.5 until about 5. Well, actually, she was past 5 and she went to kindergarten in another school. She was here, and a lot of the other kids had gone to kindergarten or the pre-kinder there, and they knew each other. And she got there and she didn't know that many kids, and she was concerned. And I tried to just be strong and say, oh no, you know what, Stephanie, you're gonna make friends. There's gonna be a lot of nice kids there. You're a fun friend, and they're gonna find out that you're fun. But when she went in just smiling and happy into the school, I was the one crying in the parking lot. I was the one that couldn't believe that my baby was already out at the big school. And I mean, I'm an educator. I've been working with children my whole life. And I've always told parents, we'll keep in touch. We'll let you know how they're doing. And they're going to go on a lot of new adventures, being in a new environment. And there's going to be fun. There's going to be excitement. And sometimes there'll be a little fear. And I realized when I was in that parking lot and I waved goodbye to my kindergarten girl, how hard it is to let go, how hard it is to see them walking off with someone else. But we've given them all the ingredients and resources that we can: love, encouragement, support. I remember when my daughter was going off to kindergarten, her big worry was that she would not be able to spell all the words. And I was like, Stephanie, you don't have to spell all the words the first day of school. It's okay. And I was there to support her, but I guess I needed support for myself too, because like I said, I was crying in the parking lot, and I know that I was not the only one. And whether your child is going into the big school or early childhood, again, middle school, high school, back from virtual learning, there's a lot of questions, right? There's a lot of things that, we don't know the answer to. And the reality is there are no easy answers. And there's nothing that is for sure in this life except that I love my family and they love me. And whatever comes up for any of us, we're going to be there for each other. And I think that's one of the important things about having a support system, having a community that you can talk to. Like here in Comadre Connection, we talk about what's going on with you. What's a mom win that you had this week? What was a challenge that you had? And we try to share with each other ways and techniques. And I think, to me, the biggest aha moment in our Zoom meetings and in our in-person classes when we have them is, I am not the only one. Wow. I'm not alone. That's what my child does. That's how I feel. And a lot of times we've gotten so used to hiding our feelings or trying to swallow our fears because we got to put on a brave face. And the reality is we love those children. They came from us, they go forth from us, and they are attached to our heart all day long when they're gone. I remember, when I went back to work, I did have to go back to work pretty early after I had my children, because there was not maternity leave, and I was broke, and I had to get back to work. And I remember just being at school thinking about my baby, just thinking for a second. Like, I started back half days, and I don't recommend this, but it was like 3 weeks after I gave birth. So there were some rough financial times in my family. And so I'm back at work on half days and going to pump breast milk, during the morning break, and, going to, pick up my son at noon and nursing him before I walked home, because we had one car. And I remember just one time I was teaching math. I thought about my baby, my breast started leaking during class. And somebody's like, Miss Lozano, how did you spill something on your clothes? And I had one of those moments where I'm thinking about my child in my heart, in my mind, and my body as well. So if you've ever gone through that pang for your child, or that, oh, I wonder what she's doing now, what is he doing now, know that that is perfectly normal, acceptable. Sometimes people say, well, you're too close to them. They're too cheeky. You got them too attached. Guess what? Our job as parents is to help children build a secure attachment. In the first year of life, their number one goal is to develop in all areas. But the one that is the most important, regardless of other levels, is that emotional attachment. Attachment means that I know that there's someone there for me who cares for me even when they can't see me. And when I cry, they're there. And when I reach out, they're going to respond. So it makes sense that as my children attached to me, I was attaching to them. And it's perfectly okay to be worried, to be nervous. Sometimes people say, oh, you're just too nervous. You just worry about everything. You know what? We brought this child from a 2-cell organism to a child who was born. That's pretty amazing, right? That's real amazing. And we brought them through the teething and the potty training and the diarrhea and the fevers and the ear infections and all the things, their first step, their first boo-boo, their first time they got a scratch. They come out of the package expecting us, basically demanding, right? Basically demanding that we meet their needs. That's why God gave them that loud voice and that ability to let you know they need something, because they're not able to be like, Mom, I think it's a great time to change my diaper. No, it's just going to be all alarm bells go off, right? So as we go through all the things with our children, all the different steps and stages and paths in life, they're growing up, but we're growing up too. And part of it is to be patient with them and to be patient with ourselves. So again, if your child is making a transition to a new classroom, to a new school, to a new environment, going from virtual learning back to in-school learning, we cannot protect them from everything out there, but we can definitely send them out with all of our love, all of our support, and be ready to listen when they come home or when we pick them up. How was your day today? What did you learn? What did you do? I try to ask, how did you feel? So that it's open for them to share what they were feeling. And when they say nothing, what did you learn? Nothing. What did you do? Nothing. Oh, it was just school. Just be ready to listen. If we interrogate, we're shutting them down. So just be ready to listen when they want to talk about a new friend, when they want to talk about something they did. Just be ready to listen. And that listening says, I can go out there to the world a little bit and come back and you'll still be here for me. Think about it, when your child's a toddler or when they're just a shy, 2 or 3 year old and you're somewhere and they'll go play a little bit away from you, but they're going to look back, right? They're going to look back. They're going to make sure that you're still there. It's like touching base. Well, every time that we're connecting with our children, they're coming back to base. Like I realized when my daughter went to high school, I would go drive to pick her up. It was, kind of a little bit of ways away. And a lot of times I was trying to do business in the car. And I was on the phone, on the speakerphone, trying to take care of different things that needed to be taken care of. And she would get into the car and we would start driving. And I don't know how far we were coming back down 281 when I hadn't even greeted her. And I listened to a speaker who talked about greeting your child no matter what age they are, no matter what stage they are. You know, when your child is little and they come out of early childhood or the first, second grade, they run up to you and they're so excited and they're so delighted. Keeping that love and that excitement alive. No, I did not expect her to run out of the high school bounding down like, this, but I realized that I was picking her up and giving her less attention than if I was an Uber driver. They didn't have Uber when she was in high school, but what would the Uber driver do? They would greet you. They would look in the mirror. They would say, hello, how are you? Would you like some water? Is there anything I can do to make you more comfortable? Yet here is my child, and I'm too busy keeping this business going or whatever I had to figure out on the phone, and she's just getting in the car like a silent passenger. And when I listened to that and I thought about, very soon, I will be the only one in this car. Very soon, I will be excited and delighted if she wants to call or talk to me. And so I tried to then change my ways of hanging up a call when I saw her coming out of the school, if I was on a call, and not calling back until after, I had dropped her off or we were home or whatever. Because if I'm going to build a relationship with my children, they need to know that when I'm with them, I'm going to be as available as possible. In reality, you can only multitask so many things when you're driving. I know some people are talented. They can eat a Whataburger, put on mascara, and I don't know what all else they can do while driving. I've seen a few of them. Some are scary, right? But if we think, well, I'll get to you in a minute. I'm busy right now. What am I saying? I'm too busy for you, even in this moment when we're in the car together. And it just made me stop and pause. I was listening to someone the other day, and they were sharing that when they get home from work, this mom and the dad, they put their phones in a drawer. Whatever time they get home from work until 7:30. And they don't check their phone, and they don't take calls, and that is their family time. And they don't give any attention to anything from the outside world. And that tells the children, we're here, we're present. They have dinner together. And I know dinner together every night is not an option for a lot of families for a lot of reasons. But how about when we are at dinner, we are with each other and we're not looking at a screen. We're looking at a human being that we love. So these are the times when we're going to hear the little stories that they're going to bring back to us from kindergarten, from daycare, and as they get in middle school and high school, they're going to tell you less than ever. So your ears have to grow. Your ears have to get bigger and bigger so that when they are going to speak up, you are emotionally available to listen and you are ready to listen and just soak in them sharing. Because as we allow them to share, we're building a relationship that will last for generations. Thank you for joining me today on this pep talk. I hope to see you on Zoom. We'll be on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Central. If this message was valuable to you, please feel free to share it and invite others to subscribe to Family Success Academy, where we'll be giving you a new pep talk every Tuesday. Take care.